May I say you're very bright this afternoon with that red and green on, like a big tomato.
Buonasera, today I'll be cooking a delicious vegetarian salad. This is something which my mom used to make a lot, especially in the summer, and it is really easy to make, and I'm gonna show you how to make it, but also the condiment to use it. The only thing I won't be able to show you is how to eat it, because I won't be able to share it with you, but hopefully you will make it. And you can do this either in the oven, or you can also do it in the air fryer, which is what I'll be using today. In the summer, actually, I also use the barbecue, but we're not in the summer. And I'm placing a couple of aubergines inside my air fryer, and also a couple of peppers. This is half, because half had gone wrong, so it's not a specific measurement. So I've thrown half away, but that's okay.
What you mean, it went off, did it?
It went off, yes. Also, I've got a white onion and a red onion, and everything goes in, all as it is. You don't need to add any salt, no pepper, and nothing at all, and no oil. And it will go in the air fryer for a total of 30 minutes, but I will get them out after 15, and I'll show you what they look like, and then they'll go in for another 15 minutes. So I'll see in about 15. And here I am 15 minutes later. They are partly done on top, and you will know that they're done because see, the top becomes very wrinkly, whereas the bottom is still the same as it was before. This is because air fryers, they pump hot air from the top. There is a fan at the top, a bit like a hairdryer, and they only cook at the top, so they need to be turned around now. So very carefully, just go with your hands, it should be okay, and turn everything around. I'll move this here, and here is my little pepper, or half pepper. And the temperature wise, 200 degrees. I'm sorry, I didn't mention that before. So they'll go in for another 15 minutes. I'll put them in and I'll show you what to do as additional ingredients for the vegetarian salad. And I'm back. So the vegetables, once cooked, they will tend to be sweet as well. So I will be complementing them with some large spring onions, and I bought this today, so they're very fresh, and I'm not going to waste anything, rather than just the very top. And then I'll go over here and I will remove the very bottom, the bulb, like so, and I'll chop the leafy parts like this, and the heart of the spring onion itself, I'll do it in little slices first, and I'll chop it again lengthwise. I'm doing a couple. You can do as many as you like. The same applies, of course, with the vegetables. So, and it's entirely your choice. You can also use, if you like, a normal onion, but these are slightly less aggressive than normal onions. So if you were to, say, for example, complement cooked onions with raw onions, maybe one. I think in America these are called salad onions. We call them spring onions in the UK. Funny enough, I do not know what they call them in Italy. My next ingredient to complement my vegetarian salad is going to be fresh tomatoes. These are plum tomatoes. You can also use cherry tomatoes, and quantities entirely up to you. But I do recommend that you slice them in half, because they will release a little bit of the juice. And you will see that when I put the whole salad together. And it's quite nice that they release some flavor in the salad. This is a tub of 300 grams, so I'm going to be using a couple of 100 grams.
It should be said, everybody, that actually this is not something we're going to eat the whole portion this evening.
No.
This is something that will live in the fridge for a few days, and we'll have a bit as and when.
It is. It is something that I often make in the summer, but I tend to make it in the winter only on the air fryer, because it's a little bit more economical than just turning the oven on.
There's an added bonus, though, everybody, that the whole house smells of lovely cooking peppers.
It does.
Smells
It's
gorgeous.
a very Mediterranean smell in the whole house. And my last uncooked ingredient is going to be olives. These are pitted olives, which we keep in olive oil. Again, entirely up to you how many you use. There is also the odd bit of some dry tomato, Julie, if you don't mind showing here. I'm gonna pinch them as well, why not? They add flavor. And I keep my olives in a jar with some rosemary and olive oil, of course.
There's a bay leaf
lurking
in there as well.
Yes. So I just take a few spoons. That's I think is enough.
You can never have enough olives. They're so good for you.
They're very tasty too.
I watched a documentary the other day out of interest, Frencho, where they were saying how the reason why olive trees live, because they literally reckon that the oldest olive trees on the planet are like over 1,000 years old or something silly.
Are they?
And they say part of it is because the olive oil itself is so good for the plant itself.
Oh.
Hence why it's lived. That's why they think.
Maybe
At the moment, obviously, that could change.
maybe we should come back as an olive tree in our next life.
Maybe. We would look a bit gnarly, though. That's the only problem.
But like I did with the tomatoes, with the olives, again, these are quite large olives, so I'm slicing them in half. You do not have to, but I think they look better in a salad, but also they will go a longer way than if leaving them whole, unless they're very small, of course. But I like to cut them in cut them in half. So I'll scoop up my olives and a few bits of sun-dried tomatoes, which incidentally happen to be there, and I'll add them here, and my uncooked pieces of salad, additional salad is ready, and I'll see you again once the vegetables are cooked, about 12 minutes or so. And I'm ready. The other 15 minutes have passed, and if you look, they're very wrinkly indeed. So the next
They look so lovely, don't they?
They do, yes.
Everybody.
They'll taste
That's what you're
wonderful.
thinking, but I can assure you they will be lovely.
They will be, yes. Just move them inside a glass bowl, and try not to burn yourself. You should be okay. Everything goes in. Actually, you can leave the onions out. They don't need to go in. They can stay out. Then get hold of a plate and put it on top. And the vegetables will continue to release a lot of heat, but as they cool down, they will shrink. And in 20 minutes, they will be lukewarm, easier to touch as well. And the skin will be even wrinkler, if there is such a word.
Wrinklier.
Wrinklier.
More wrinkly, dear. More wrinkly.
More wrinkly. And they'll be easy to peel. This is something that my mum used to do in Sicily when we used to have a barbecue. Bless her, in the evening we would finish the barbecue. And actually what she used to do, she would have the hot ashes left, and she would dig a hole, put the aubergines, the onions, peppers, whatever she had available, and then cover them all up and leave them for a few hours, and then she would put them inside a glass bowl like I've just done and leave them until the morning, and then she would peel them. But I'll show you that later. What I'll show you next is what we're going to be eating with our vegetarian salad. I've got here some chicken drumsticks, and just as they are, I'm not adding anything at all to them at the moment. I'll place them inside my air fryer, and I will put them in for about 15 minutes again, same temperature, actually exactly the same as I did with the vegetables. And I won't add any salt, no pepper. 15 minutes, 200 degrees, and then I will get them out, and I'll put a marinade, which I'll show you in a little while what I've done, and then I'll toast them, and then another 15 minutes and I'll be ready. 15 minutes on, and my chicken is partly cooked, so I'll transfer it back in the same bowl as before. No need to wash it because it's going to be cooked again. And this is a little marinade I made earlier, and it consists of chopped rosemary, olive oil, the juice from half a lemon, 2 cloves of garlic which I've also crushed. Then I've added some spices, and I've got them here in front of me so don't forget, some turmeric, a few chili flakes, and also some paprika.
Bring it a bit closer so we can have a look.
There you go. The one thing I need to add before I forget though is some salt. I'll put half a teaspoon of salt and also a little pepper. Reason why I'm adding this halfway through and not at the beginning when the chicken goes in the air fryer is because I think that it would end up overcooking all of my spices, especially the garlic. Whereas like this, the chicken is partly cooked, and the herbs and all of the spices will retain some of the flavors.
And we'll stink of garlic all night.
We will. And
it's only you and me here, doesn't matter.
Julie and I, indeed, yes.
Good job my mum's not here.
Give everything a good old mix using a spatula. Be careful because it's really hot.
And then,
oops,
crunch.
Try not to break everything. And I'll pour everything back in my tray, like so. Give it a good mix, and they can go back in for another 15 minutes, still the same temperature, 200 degrees, and they will be ready. When I'll come back, I'll deal with the vegetables and we can finish the salad. And I'll deal with the onions first, as they have cooled down, and you will see what I mean. They are very, very easy to deal with. I think I might have mentioned this at the beginning of the video. Of course, you can do all of these also in your oven. And although they are a little bit warm, they are very easy and safe to handle. So onions are very easy. Just to remove the skin, I'll put them here in the bowl where the chicken was. And I'll start slicing my vegetables and I'll do them lengthwise so that they look better, and also they'll go a long way. Here is my salad bowl, which I will be using to finish the salad. And I'll start moving my vegetables inside it. And let's take a look at the peppers and the aubergines next. I'll show you the peppers first, and when you remove the cap you will see that there is quite a bit of water, so get rid of that. Place it here. Where is the other one? Here. This one looks a little bit poorly, but that'll be fine. And you will see that as they have been sweating and they go wrinkler, even
More wrinkly.
more wrinkly. It's very, very easy to peel it. Look, it's just a dream. They're a little bit hot, admittedly, still, but I don't want to wait too long before we eat. So I'll go in now, and I'll go and remove the seeds, which they'll come off ever so easily. And even if you've got the odd seed left behind, it doesn't really matter. It's perfectly okay. Like I did with the onions, I'll chop them with my knife lengthwise, and off they go with the rest of the onions. Interestingly, this one, which was opened, is a little bit more difficult. Not a big deal, but that was to show really that if you put them inside the oven or inside your air fryer hole, they're easier to peel later. And here goes my green pepper. Now with the aubergines or eggplants, ironically, when I cook aubergines, I always keep the skin, but this is the only time when I don't, because it becomes a little bit tougher, and I do take it off, of course, otherwise it will be very unpleasant. But just like I did with the peppers, look, it's ever so easy. It just comes off like a snake.
Oh, nice. Like a snake
When he
skin.
loses his skin. And I'll try and get rid of some of the liquid, like so. If it wasn't still quite hot, I would have done this with my hands, but they are still steaming a little, so I'll do it with a knife. Again, lengthwise. In they go. And here is number 2. Of course, the lengthwise is my choice. It's not a rule, entirely up to you, but you will see what I mean. They look better once they're finished. And here they go. Quick tidy up, and let's finish the salad. So the next job is to mix all of my uncooked vegetables, and as they are, I'll just pour them inside. In terms of spices, I always add some oregano, and again, quantities entirely up to you, subjective, but I do add a fair amount because we really like it, although today it doesn't want to come out.
Here we all there.
There it is.
Oh wow.
Black pepper, again, quantities to taste. Some salt, I will be adding half a teaspoon. Choice of vinegar, entirely up to you, or no vinegar if you're not keen on vinegar, but I always use red wine vinegar when I make these sort of salads. But white wine vinegar is also good, or apple or cider vinegar if you like it, entirely up to you. Or also you could use balsamic vinegar, or a combination of all of them, why not? But I'll keep it simple, my mum used to keep it simple. And of course, it cannot go without any olive oil, so be quite generous with the olive oil because this will bond all of the ingredients together. Now, if it was the middle of the summer and we had a beautiful big basil plant, I would have used basil, but we don't. I do have some frozen parsley today, and that's not a bad compromise, so I will be adding some of that. Personally, I would always use hands to do this job because you can get through all of your ingredients much easier, and just mix everything together. The peppers and the aubergines are still a little bit warm, but they will soon cool down. And I will leave this now to marinate for about 5 minutes, and it will cool down, and then we can test it. In the meantime, the chicken should be finished in about 10 minutes. While I wait for the chicken, I can now taste the salad, and the best way to do that is using some rustic Italian bread. This is stone-baked olive bread. I'll just get a slice. Freshly baked today from the supermarket, not from us.
One of these days we will make some bread.
Yes, I've got all intentions of baking some bread. Maybe you can let me know in the comments. Would you like me to bake some bread? I've got a pizza oven outside, but I can use either the pizza oven or the oven indoors.
Well, I think we need to wait for the pizza oven. It's a bit cold out there at the moment.
And this is absolutely wonderful. Just a mixture of everything. And this is going to be taking me back to Sicily, no doubt. I know it's delicious because I make it very often, but today is particularly nice because of actually, funny enough, the parsley, which I do not often add. It's a good combo. So it's delicious and very, very healthy. You saw me making it. I'll wait for the chicken now, and then I'll show you that. So see you in a little while. And here is the chicken, looking absolutely beautiful. It's going to be really, really hot, but I'll just test a little and then I'll go so we can eat. Of course, this video is not about the chicken, it's about the vegetable salad, but I always like to share with you what we have with our food. So today I'm going to show you the chicken drumsticks. And by the way, if you do use air fryers, just make sure that you go and pinch some of the oil at the bottom, which is absolutely delicious. Trust me, I'm not trying to be elegant using a knife and fork, but it's really, really hot. So I'm going to use knife and fork, otherwise I would have picked it up. And look, it's perfectly cooked, it's nice and moist on the inside. And I'm going to dip this in this beautiful oil and then taste it. Hot. Absolutely wonderful. Sorry, I got my mouth full. And as I said before, the chili. The chili might be a little bit, but as I said before, because I put the spices and the garlic halfway through, they've retained all of their flavor and it is absolutely delicious. Try this chicken like this as well and see what you think. You don't have to use a chicken drumsticks, you can do with chicken breast or whole chicken if you want, obviously in the oven. I'm not sure about the air fryer, but it's absolutely delicious and very easy and very quick to make. Well, that's the end of the video. Hopefully you've enjoyed the recipe and especially the vegetarian part of it. If you make it or a version of it, let me know in the comments, or if you like any tips and so on. And as I mentioned before, I now print all of my recipes on a PDF. It's free, there are no adverts, you can easily download it on your computer or print it and you can keep it in your book for future. So thank you for watching, and if you like my channel, please do subscribe. Arrivederci, grazie, and as always, buon appetito. Ciao ciao.